Tashitari once again. So today I'll be continuing from the motion chapter itself. So today for our learning outcome, we have three equations which we used to call as the equation of motion. That is v is equal to u plus at, and the second one is s is equal to ut plus half at square, and the third one is v square minus u square is equal to 2as. Now these three equations are quite important from the perspective of the chapter motion itself. So we have to derive this equation through the graphical method. So we will first go with this equation over here. v is equal to u plus at. But before going with this equation over here, we first need to understand some basic thing about what is the use of this equation, why we are doing that. So till now in the motion chapter we had some physical quantities like displacement, and we have like acceleration, velocity and speed and many of this. Now in order to show some kind of relationship between all of this physical quantity, we are making this equation of motions. Now this equation of motion we have to derive it, right, through the graphical method. So let us understand the graph itself first. So now if you look at this graph over here, you can see this is the point here. From this point here, let's imagine an object is moving, and I'm going to keep that object as a car here. Okay. So now the point of concern is that whenever we are writing any kind of graph here, previously we have learned, whenever we are writing any kind of graph where there is a velocity and time, we talk about acceleration. Whenever there is a velocity and time, we always talk about acceleration. Now in this case right now, you see a straight kind of graph here. That means a straight kind of graph here. So this straight kind of graph is what we used to call as uniform acceleration. So now you can somehow understand that from this point A to B, there is a uniform acceleration, right? Now what is the difference between this graph and that graph? The difference is the point of origin over here. In this case, the point of origin is A. In this case, the point of origin is O over here. So you might be thinking now, what is the point of writing something like this? Now this you have to understand that in this case here, the object is already in motion. Is that clear? For example, over here, this object is starting from the 0 point over here. But in this case, this object is not starting from here, but instead it has some amount of distance in that. So what I'm trying to say, that this object is already in motion. Then from the point A, now it started moving with uniform acceleration. Is that clear? So this is very important here. From this point A, now this particular car, it's already in motion. This car is already in motion. Now we are considering from the point A, now this point A, from this point A, this car is moving with a uniform acceleration. Uniform acceleration means if the acceleration over here is 2 meters per second square, then the acceleration over here should be 2 meters per second square throughout the way. But from here to there, the velocity changes. Velocity. Is that clear? So now let us imagine over here. OA. This is the initial velocity. Initial velocity. If I'm going to make this as, if I'm going to write this as u, that is initial velocity. This is the final velocity here. Final velocity, which I'm also going to write like this here. V. Is that clear? So I have this graph here. It's kind of like, normally when I used to teach the class, I make my students to make something like this here, right? Okay. So now here, if I make here, if this is 5 centimeter, you can somehow call this as 5 centimeter, right? Because these are the opposite sides with same kind of sides here, same kind of length, right? So if this is u, we can somehow call DC as also u. Understand? Is that clear? If this is u, then this is also u, same. Because both are having the same kind of sign here. Now, since we were discussing about velocity here, in this case, this is velocity. Now we are going to write something like this here. We will join the line here, and this is velocity here. Understand? And velocity versus time. Now, if this is the time, then this also is the time, same. If this is t, this is t. We are assuming it right now because many of you might be thinking, how can this be possible here? What we are trying to do, we are trying to derive some equation over here. Understand? And we are first proceeding with this one here. Is that clear? So now before we proceed with this, we are trying to understand this graph. And as I said before, that this graph, object is moving with a uniform acceleration, and this object is already having some sort of covered some sort of distance, or having some sort of velocity, and it is over here now. Not starting from the point of origin over here, it's over there, right? So now we are considering, if this is t, then I can also call this as t. Is that clear? Because both are having something like this here, this and that side. Is that clear? Okay, fine. So now we have to understand this. So now what we are going to write here, suppose an object is moving from A to B uniform acceleration. Now this we have to understand. Suppose an object is moving from A to B with a uniform acceleration. Now here, OA is which one? OA is equal to DC. DC is equal to U. I'm sorry, U. Understand? Now the next one, OC is equal to AD, that is equal to time. Understand? Now I will wipe this out. Here. This part here. BC, B and C. Between B and C, what I'm trying to do is that B and C is equal to, B and C is equal to BD plus DC. Is it same? Same, right? I hope you are not getting confused here. BC is equal to BD plus DC. This is what I have done. BC is equal to BD plus DC. Do you understand? BC is equal to BD plus DC. This is what I'm trying to do over here. Understand? But if I wanted to take this out here, that is BD, BC, I'm going to send this to that side here. What will happen? Minus DC is equal to BD. Understand? Are you understanding what I'm trying to do? Okay, so now what is BC? BC is V. Understand? What is BC? BC is V minus, what is DC? Is U. V minus U is equal to BD. Now this you have to write for all the three equations. Understand? So now our first equation is also known as velocity time relation. Velocity time relation here. Understand? Velocity time relation. Now we have to find from A to B, we have to find the acceleration. What is the acceleration? Acceleration. Right? Acceleration. Acceleration is equal to change in velocity. Change in velocity with respect to time. Change in velocity with respect to time. Now over here, an object is moving from A to B with a uniform acceleration, and that uniform acceleration, if we try to find out, we have to use the formula, that is the change in the velocity with respect to time. Now what is the what is the symbol of acceleration? Is A is equal to, from here to there, top B here. If we were asked to find the acceleration, what we have to understand is that this is V and this is U. how much is the change in the velocity? This we have to find. So velocity change, how we will get? V minus u. If you subtract this two, you will get how much is the change in the velocity with respect to time. Understand? Now we are coming within here. I'm going to multiply t with a, so what I will get? At is equal to v minus u. Okay? Now I'm going to send this minus u to that side here. So what I will get? U plus at, because this symbol minus is going to change if you move on to the opposite side, is equal to v, which we can also write like v is equal to u plus at. This is the first equation of motion, that is v is equal to u plus at. Understand? Do you understand? Okay. So now, how we are going to use this formula? Because after finishing, after the derivation of all the three equations, we will practice a little amount of calculation to understand the equations more carefully, right? Okay, I hope you had understood. This is not a lengthy one, but comparing this one with the second one is quite lengthy, right? Not so lengthy, but it's quite easy if you understand. Okay, so let's go for the second one. So again, what you have to do is that, what you have to understand is that same graph, this you have to understand somehow, right? Suppose an object is moving from A to B with the uniform acceleration, and from A to B there is a change, because that object is over here, next the object is over there. So this point and that point, there is a change. This is what we call as change in the velocity, right? Now, the next one is called as position time relation. So whenever we talk about position, okay, we talk about where it is, how far, right? Is that clear? How far that particular object has traveled somehow, right? So now, in that case over here, position time relationship, what we are going to do is that particular object here, that is object that is in the case of, in my case, is a car. How far that particular car has traveled, this we will try to understand. So how far, that is equal to distance with direction here. Understand that somehow equals to displacement, right? Distance, S, it is symbolized, S is a symbol of distance, right? With direction. Now this S, how far, listen here, what we are trying to understand, that please try to understand, okay, what we are trying to do now. What we are trying to do, we are trying to derive this equation, S is equal to ut plus half at square. And this equation is also called as position time relationship. Understand? Now, this graph is same for all the three equations. Understand? Now over here, what I'm trying to do is that, let's say, there is an object. This object is traveling from this point to that point. This point to that point. Now, what I'm asking is that how far this particular object from here to there, how far it has traveled. In my case, it's easy because I can measure it somehow, right? But in that graph case, you cannot do that. So what we have to understand is that when the object is curving some sort of distance with direction from A to B, we have to assume that this should be somehow equal to the area of that particular diagram here, that graph here. For example, okay, I don't know whether it works or not, but let me just create it over here. For example, there's a hole here, and a person is running on top here. He's curving from this point to that point. He's curving. If I ask you how far he has traveled, you are somehow going to measure this line, right? Because when you make this line, when you measure this line, you can somehow have an approximate idea of how far this person had run, right, from here to there. Now, in our case here, right now, the graph is in that way, right? What I'm asking is that from here to there, how far he has traveled should be equal to the area of this trapezium over here. Understand? This is what we are trying to assume for the time being, right? Okay. So what I'm trying to do is that how far this particular object has traveled is equal to the area of the OABC. Area of trapezium OABC. Area of trapezium OABC. Now this is a trapezium. Now normally what is trapezium? In a geometry, trapezium is a geometrical shape with when two sides are parallel. Here. These are the two sides, 1 and 2. These two are parallel. They will never intersect. But these two are not parallel. So this kind of diagram, this kind of like geometrical shape is what we call as a trapezium. Now in our case here right now, what I said, how far this particular car had traveled in a direction is equal to the area of OABC, area of whole this diagram here. Understand? But if you look at this diagram carefully, area of trapezium here, you can see two kind of diagram here. Diagram number 1, you can see rectangle. Can you see one rectangle here? I will mark with a different kind of chalk here. Okay, here. Is that a rectangle? Right? And the second one is, can you see a triangle? This is a triangle. Triangle. Is that clear? So now this I'm going to carry over here. Understand? So what I'm getting is S is equal to area of trapezium OABC, as I said before. Now this trapezium, I'm going to break it into two parts here. This is a trapezium. Now this trapezium, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to break this into a rectangle one, right? Area of rectangle. What is a rectangle? OADC. OADC. Understand? OADC. Area of rectangle OADC plus there is another one, that is the area of triangle plus area of triangle. What is the area of triangle? This one, OABD. Area of triangle ABD. Okay, so now we are going to find is equal to, what is the area of rectangle? Length into breadth plus what is the area of triangle? Half base into height. Now let's go for rectangle here. If you look at this rectangle here, I'm going to like take this out. Yeah, rectangle here. Look at this rectangle. Which one is length? Length is U. Can you see that? Length is U. So what I'm getting is length is U. What is breadth? Breadth is T. Can you see? T. UT plus half into. Look at this triangle here now. Look at this triangle. Focus on this triangle here. This triangle. Focus on this triangle. What we are getting is, if you look at this triangle here, half base. This is the base of the triangle, right? If this is the base, we can see this is T. This is T. This is T. Same. T, T. Can you see that? This is the base. So half into T into. What is the height? Height is this one here. That is B and D. What is the value of BD? BD is equal to V minus U. We already got that. BD is equal to total V minus U. So V minus U. Understand? This is where we are now. How I'm going to write? S is equal to UT plus half V minus U T. This is equation number 1. Understand? Okay, so now we are over here. We are almost coming to the end part here. But in the previous equation here, acceleration, we have acceleration acceleration A is equal to V minus U upon T. We know that acceleration is the change in velocity with time. Understand? So now this T I'm going to set on top here. A T is equal to V minus U. Understand? Now, what can you find over here? V minus U. And what do you see over here? V minus U. And this V minus U is also equal to AT. So instead of writing V minus U, can I write AT? Same. Because we are deriving an equation. So what I'm trying to do is that substituting what? V minus U is equal to AT. Instead of writing V minus U, I'm going to write AT. Why? Because AT is somewhat equal to V minus U. Right? Substituting V minus U is equal to AT in equation number 1. In this equation 1. So I'm going to copy this equation once again. S is equal to UT plus half V minus U upon what? Into T. Now instead of writing V minus U, I'm going to write AT here. So what I will get? S is equal to UT plus half. Instead of writing V minus U, I'm going to write AT, T. This TT you can somehow multiply. UT plus half AT square. This is S. This is the second equation of motion. Do you understand? Thank you. We will go for the next one. We will go for the next one in the next session.